object. Okay, so we are going to learn object-oriented programming system. So this system provides us multiple concepts like object, class, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, etc. Okay, so first of all, we are going to start object. Object is a runtime entity, you can say a real world entity, and it will create at the time of creation of your execution of your program. Okay, if you want a object contain state and behavior, so you and me are also a object. So state means properties like my name, my father's name, my mother's name, address, and city, pin code, date of birth, and mobile number, email address. These are my properties. Okay, I'm laughing, I'm talking, I'm walking. These are the my behavior. Okay, so each object have some properties and behavior. If you want to create object, so first of all we will create class, and class is a collection of sorry okay collection of similar types of object. Okay, so suppose this is a Java class, so all objects have same properties. All objects are learning Java. Okay, so class is a collection of similar type of object. So this is a Java class. So in Java, in class, we declare the state, we declare the properties and behavior of an object. Okay, suppose here I'm going to create a class, open braces, imply, and here we can declare the properties like emp id and emp name. Okay, emp salary, designation, basic, thra. Okay, there are multiple properties. So now how to create the object? I suppose now we want to create the object of this class. So we use class name. Class name is imply. Then we can declare a object like suppose object name is Sagar. New is a keyword. Through this we can create the object of that class and imply. And here we declare this is a constructor. Okay. So with the help of this constructor, we will create the object of imply. Okay, and these properties of this object have these properties imply and imply name. Okay, so now we are going to create as example sts currently the data access modifier. What is the name of access modifier of imply id and imp name? Oh, yes. Anybody else? Can be public private default. Okay, and it means any access modifier is possible. Private, public, default. How it possible? One property or behavior have multiple access specifier or modifier. Yes. Yes. Oh, okay. 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 I'm going to create a new project. Okay. Proven. Okay. So suppose we have a class employee, and this class have two properties. MP. Okay. Now I'm going to create another class and add public static admin. Okay. So first of all, if you want to access employee ID, employee name, so first of all we will create the object of employee class. Okay. So this is the syntax for object creation. Suppose we want to set the value of the employee ID. So obj dot employee ID is equal to 101. Suppose. Oh yes. Okay. Okay. So suppose here we want to print employee ID plus obj dot employee ID. Okay. And employee name plus obj dot employee name. Okay, it's working, no problem. Now we can execute this. Okay, it's working. So it's very here you can see this. We are setting the value of employee ID employee name directly. Okay, so what is the use of this? So here, if we will declare, so by default, it is a default access modifier. Okay, so suppose here set private, then you can see it's showing error. An example, because if we will set the access modifier as a private, so we cannot access outside of the class. So it's showing error. So how to access these values? So no, we can create the methods. Okay, we can also create constructor, no problem. But emp name sent emp emp id, or we can, sorry, suppose set value. Okay, and we can create another method public member like get value. Okay, so we can put these values. Okay, specifying imply methods, same as we can copy this, we can do this. Okay, but here we have not need to create the object, we have not need this, we can directly set that values. Okay, so at the place of this, we can use set value. Okay, but set value is a part of class, so we use obj object, same as we can use obj dot get value at the place of that's in instruction. Okay, and we can execute this. Okay, but this is hard coding. If we will execute 10 times, so it will uh, provide us same result. Okay, so here we can declare a variable and we can set the value from outside x. Yes, yes. Okay, so we can pass the values from here. So here, suppose 10 and second is okay. Now we can execute this. It's working, no problem. But here, we are only print these values. So suppose uh, if suppose here we are put the result, put the values of implied and plain name here. So if we want to use these values here, so it's not possible. Okay, so for this purpose we can return the value from this method. Okay, so for this purpose here all are emp id and plain name, so we cannot return both values at a time. A method can return only single value. Okay, so I'm going to create a copy of this method. First is employee ID. So it will return employee ID. So we can delete this and we can return, because this is a employee ID is an integer type. So this method will return integer type value. So here I have declared int, same as here string get emp name. Okay, it's okay. After that, here we can print the values. Employee ID get emp ID. It's okay. And same as employee name. Okay, it's working, no problem. And if you want to use these values anywhere, so we can use this output. And if scanner st is equal to new scanner, if you want to get the input from the user end, it is also possible. Okay, so we can pass here sc dot, we can directly input the values. Next int. Okay, we will create the separate method for separate variable, no problem. Name set emp name sc dot next line, it will use here emp set emp id. Okay, any problem? Actually I'm creating setter and getter method. So here emp id, so we can set the values for separate method for separate properties. So each property has two values, two methods. Set emp name okay. So now we can execute this. Enter the employee ID. So here 103, but enter the employee name. It is skipped. So we can use here at the place of line we can use next. Yes, again I'm going to execute this. Employee ID 104 and the employee name is suppose Ravi, and this is the employee name. So we can input any employee ID and employee name. We can get the value from the user end. It's okay. So actually this is example of encapsulation. In encapsulation we can must be declare the properties as a private and setter getter method for each properties. So one method for set the value of that property and other method through we can get the value for the property. Okay. So now suppose we are going to create another example. Circle. So here we can declare a single property radius, and we can create set radius double x. Through this method we can we set the value of radius is equal to x. Same thing here, we will create another method. It will return double type value get radius, and it will return the value of radius. Okay, now I'm going to create another class, and through this class we will access the value of radius. So here demo, here first of all I'm going to create object of circle new. Okay, obj dot set radius. So here we can set the radius, suppose 2.4. Okay, after that we want to get the radius. Okay, suppose we want to calculate the area of circle. Obj area is equal to obj dot get radius. So the area is pi r square. So math pi r square means radius into obj dot get radius. So we can print the area of circle plus area. Okay, okay, suppose we want to print the value of radius, so it is also possible. So plus obj dot get radius. So to the get radius we can get the value of radius. Okay, same as suppose we want to calculate circumference of area. So here we can math dot pi into pi r means obj dot get radius, and the formula is 2 into pi r square a, sorry, 2 pi r. Okay, so now we can display this. Yes. Now I'm going to execute this. Okay, the area of circle is this, and circumference is this. Okay, hello, it's okay. Are you boring? Okay. Any doubt, any queries? Oh, yes. 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 We can also call attributes, means I can't understand what are you saying. Yes. No. Yes. You can. No. No. This is the attributes. Your radius is the attributes. Imply ID and imply name is attributes. You can say this. Okay. And your function, your method, setter getter method, these are the behavior of an object. Okay. And imply ID, imply name, or radius, these are the state of object or properties of object. And the functions are properties of the object. So you can call uh, like imply ID, imply name, radius, you can call it uh, attributes. But actually in Java, we called state or properties. Okay. Okay, so encapsulation is also a process. In this process, we are wrapping up data member and member function in a single unit. That's called encapsulation. And the private member we cannot access outside of the class. Okay, so here this is a class, and this is a property or state of this class. And in first program, imply ID and imply name. So here imply ID and imply names are properties or state of imply object, and these are the methods. So in a single unit, we are wrapping up data member. These are also called data members. These are the data members, and these are member functions. Okay, and wrapping up in a single unit, that is called class. Okay, so in class we are wrapping up data member and member function. That is called encapsulation. It is a very important file in Java. Here we are calling it encapsulation, but after some time when you will work on advanced Java, then we will call this file as a bean file. Okay, in Spring Framework we called it Pojo file. In Hibernate, Pojo file, plain old Java object. In Hibernate we called it persist file. Okay, but same file we'll use each and every place in Java. Actually, it is very simple. We can declare multiple properties. Here I have declared only two properties: empty ID, empty name. But here I am declare multiple values, 10, 20, 100, any number of properties we can declare here. Okay, and we can represent the all property only through a single object. Means this object can contain unlimited values. Okay, so we can transfer from one page to another page, one class to another class. It's very easy through a single object. We can store unlimited value in an object, and we can transfer from one class to another class very easily. So it is very important file in Java. Okay, and suppose you want to create a file. Suppose you want to calculate area of triangle, a rectangle. Suppose so you can create this using this type file. One minute. Kirtana and yes, Nirmala, Pradesh, Vasant. Any doubt, any queries? Okay, so please create a program. No, yes, okay. Find out the area of rectangle and perimeter of rectangle. Okay, area and perimeter of rectangle. Please try this. Okay, now I'm going to create a copy of this project. Suppose here is a circle class. So we can set this value through the constructor also. So here we can declare the constructor. The constructor name is same as class name. Okay, and constructor have not return type. Okay, so we can use this. Okay, and we have not need to call this constructor. It will implicitly call at the time of creation of object. Okay, so open this. Here this is a constructor. Okay, so we have not need of set radius. We can pass same value in constructor. Okay, and now we can execute this. Okay, radius 2.4, area of circle and circumference. Okay, it's very simple. We can use constructor at the place of setter method. Okay, the constructor name is same as constructor is used for initialize the value of properties. Okay, so constructor here, constructor name is same as class name, and it have not return type, and we have not need to call this constructor. It will implicitly call at the time of creation of object. Okay, same thing. We can create the example first. Like suppose this. Suppose we want to perform same operation using constructor. So these are there are two setter method. So at the place of this, we can use a single constructor. So public imply, and here we can pass two values and by. After that, emp id is equal to x and emp name is equal to y. Okay, and we have not yet called setter methods. So we will pass the values through the constructor. So we can remove from here at the place of this, we will use here, and we can save values in a variable like string name and int id is equal to this, and we can pass both values in constructor id comma name. Okay, and then we can execute this. So through the setter method and constructor, we can set the values. Okay, employee ID 105, employee name is Rohit. So we have two options for initialize the values of properties. We can use setter method and constructor. So constructor is used to initialize the values of properties. Okay, two types of constructor. And constructor name is same as class name. It have not return type, and we have not need to call this constructor. It will implicitly call at the time of creation of object. Okay, and types of two types of constructor. First, default constructor, and second is a parameterized constructor. Okay, so here in this example you can see this. Here we are passing two parameters, id and name. So it will call, this is example of parameterized constructor. Okay, and same as in example, this example is also a constructor. Okay, but here this is a default constructor. Okay, same as is also a default constructor. Okay, so in default constructor that have zero parameter, but in parameterized constructor we can pass one or more than one parameter. Okay, any doubt, any queries? So you can see this. Here you can see this circle. Here I'm converting a setter method in constructor, same as in imply. Here this is also a constructor. Okay, Kirtana, Nirmala, Pradesh, and Brajesh. Okay. So if you want to initialize the value of any properties, we have two options. We can use setter method and constructor. Okay. But which one is better? Setter method or constructor? For why? Reason? Yeah, there is also, these are private. Brajesh? Why? Okay. Nirmala, Kirtana, Brajesh, have any idea? No. Suppose here, this is the constructor. Okay. This is the imply constructor. Please see, everyone. Okay. Here we are passing two values, ID and name. Suppose we have, I want to only work on ID. It is not possible. You can see here it's showing error. Suppose we have 10 properties, and if we want to work on a single properties, or we want to work only 9 properties, it is not possible, because constructor, here I have mentioned two properties. So we will always we will pass two values, two parameters. If you want to pass here three values, it is also not possible. Okay, but if you are using setter method, here the setter method is separate for each properties. So suppose here this is setter method. I'm not interested to pass these values. Okay, it will work, no problem. Imply name null, imply ID 104. So we can work a small unit of if we have only single values, we can work in setter getter method. Suppose I have declared, it is a encapsulation file, bin file. Suppose here I have declared 10 properties. Okay, and I want to use only single property, so we can do this, no problem. But if we will use constructor, so all time we will pass 10 values. If we have 10 properties, we cannot work on 9, 8, 1, or 2, or 3, or 4. We will always pass 10 values. That is the problem with constructor. In this case, we can create multiple constructor. Then it will be possible. Means suppose we have 10, so I think unlimited constructor we will create for separate execution. We will use constructor overloading. Then it will possible. But we will create multiple. The 10 means unlimited 20, 30 constructor for the execution of properties. So setter getter method is better than constructor, and we will use in further classes like advanced Java, Spring, Hibernate, each and every place we will use only setter getter method. And we have a Lombok, so Lombok project. With the help of this, we have not need to generate the getter setter method or constructor. We only use annotation of data. It will provide us setter getter method of our properties. So it is very important file encapsulation. Okay. Any doubt? Any queries? Understood? What I'm saying. Okay. And next, we are going to start inheritance. Okay. Any doubt? Any queries? Any other? Brijesh, Kirtana, Nirmala, Sagar. Okay. Suppose inheritance. Okay. So we can explain inheritance only one word: code reusability. If any code you have already exist in your uh, project, so we have not need to create again. We can use this set. So the main advantage of inheritance is code reusability. Okay, we can explain code reusability through a single word: code reusability. Okay, and this is the in this process a object of a class acquire the properties of another class of class. Okay, suppose we have a two class. Suppose we have a two class A. Okay, and class A have AMPID. Okay, and we have another class B. We have a string. Okay, suppose we want to create the object of B. So B obj1 obj2 is equal to new B. Okay, same as we can create the object of A. A obj1 is equal to new A. Okay, so obj1, if you want to access EMP ID, so we will use obj1. Through the obj1 we can access EMP ID. Through the obj2 we can access EMP name. Okay, understood what I'm saying? Obj1, through the obj1 we can access only EMP ID. We cannot access EMP name because EMP name is a part of property of class B. Yes. Okay, same as obj2. Obj to the obj2 we can access only EMP name. We cannot access EMP ID. Okay, but but With the help of inheritance, obj1 can be accessed emp id and emp name both. Same as uh, obj2 can access emp id and emp name with the help of inheritance. Okay, if A inherit B, so obj1, like suppose here, extend B P. So now obj1 can access amp id and amp name both. Correct? If class B extend A, so obj2 can access amp id and amp name both. Okay? So with the help of inheritance, a object can access the property of another object of another class. Okay? And there are following types of object. Sorry, inheritance. Single level, multi-level, hierarchical, multiple, hybrid. Okay, 5 types of inheritance. But Java only work on single level, multi-level, and hierarchical. Yes, yes, multiple, and hybrid also, because hybrid is a combination of hierarchical and multiple. And multiple is not possible. So obviously, a hybrid is also not possible in Java. But through the interface, we can perform multiple inheritance. Okay. So first of all, code reusability. We can try to understand this. Okay, and okay, but time is break time. So after breaking, we will try to create the example of inheritance.